Now with a major break in that grisly case out of Bucks County, Pennsylvania, where 4 young men have gone missing. Police discovered one of the victims' remains overnight. All eyes now on a young man they arrested again. ABC's Eva Pilgrim is on the scene with the latest. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. It was cadaver dogs that led investigators to find this body buried deep underground. You can see in these areas this morning, teams are back out on this property this morning. They are searching, and they say there are more bodies here. They just don't know how many.
Overnight, police announcing they have found the remains of one of the 4 missing men outside Philadelphia.
We have found human remains in an approximately 12.5-foot deep common grave that we have painstakingly dug with a lot of care so as not to damage any potential evidence.
Authorities identifying the remains as 19-year-old Dean Finocchiaro, saying more remains were found in that grave. Investigators have been searching for Finocchiaro, 21-year-old Thomas Mio, 22-year-old Mark Sturgis, and 19-year-old Jimmy Patrick since last week, combing through this 90-acre farm looking for clues. The property owner's son named a person of interest. Officials arresting Cosmo DiNardo first for an unrelated gun charge, then again Wednesday after he bonded out, saying this weekend the 20-year-old allegedly stole and tried to sell a car belonging to one of the missing men for $500.
This is for receiving stolen property and theft of a 1996 Nissan Maxima that is owned by Thomas Mio.
Authorities now trying to connect the dots to show connections between all the men. Sturgis' father telling police that after 4 p.m. Friday, his son was going to meet his close friend Mio. 4 hours later, at about 8 p.m., using license plate readers, police say they can put DiNardo's truck and Mio's car within feet of each other. The next day, both Mio and Sturgis failed to show up to work.
Where was the sound of these gunshots coming from?
DiNardo's neighbor, Susan Coleman, says she heard gunfire on the family's property Saturday.
We heard it, we felt it. It was violent.
1 day later, detectives say they found Mio's car in a garage on that property with Mio's life-saving diabetes medication still inside. Family and friends now praying for the missing men. At Loyola University, where Patrick went to school, candles lit for hope.
You're going to notice he's gone. And I don't know if we're ready for that.
Cosmo DiNardo is being held on $5 million all cash bail. The judge telling me it's the largest one she's ever set. George?
Okay, Eva, thanks very much. Let's talk now to our ABC News consultant, former FBI Special Agent Brad Garrett. That tells you something there, $5 million all cash bail.
And the reason, George, obviously, is they want to keep him in jail. It buys them some time. They found and identified one person. So the real key is, how do they link DiNardo to the one and probably the other 3 that some believe are buried in the same place?
And they do say they found important evidence on the property.
They did. They did. And so I think you're going to see in very short order him being charged with murder.
Yeah, well, what is the tripwire on person of interest versus suspect? It's clear he's the guy they're going after.
Evidence. How do you link him to one or all 4 of them? And that's going to be the real key.
And the family says right now they're cooperating. What can investigators get from them?
A lot of information about perhaps his relationship with these 4 guys. Because, George, this is all going to be driven by some sort of anger, revenge. I want to get back at these guys. I suspect mental health is a component of this also.
And I was asking you about this before we came on the air. Is this the kind of thing, the kind of crime that one person could do alone?
Yes, and I think probably he does them individually. Either he surprises 2 of them, for example, disarms them, maybe shoots them, but my guess is you do each one individually. And if you look at that hole they're in, that's impressive that he was able to dig that.
The grand jury has convened now. It's pretty clear, as you were saying, charges could be coming in short order.
I think I'd be surprised if he isn't charged by the end of the week.
Okay, Brad Garrett, thanks very much.